In the following video, a mother was sitting with her 2 children when something out of the ordinary happened. Whilst one kid was playing Roblox, the other was pestering her to bits, and she ended up playing with that child to keep them happy. It was then that she claimed a weird feeling swept the room. She felt cold, and almost as if something evil had entered the vicinity. Little did she know that it had.
Then go up here.
Look at my mirror.
Oh, you went the wrong way.
My mirror's cracking by itself.
What's happening? Wait, stop.
Harry, my mirror is cracking by itself.
It's cracked twice so far. Why is it cracking by itself?
I have no f***ing idea.
There's 2 bees.
Yeah, it's really fucking.
Just carry on with it. Right. It's me.
Stay there, don't go near it.
This way. I know. I know. There's a naughty mirror. Wait.
No,
Why is the mirror cracking?
I don't know.
I know. Maybe the naughty seven.
Out of the blue, the mirror cracked on its own accord, and it was obvious that nothing natural caused this to happen. There was absolutely no human contact with the mirror, and furthermore, it didn't collide with anything, let alone with the force to generate such a crack. With all of these facts compiled, it is safe to say that something exterior caused this to happen, with the leading conclusion being a ghost. GhostTube is an app that allows its users to detect ghosts around their household, and one special day when Chris became bored, he decided to give it a shot. He always had a feeling that ghosts were real, and was definitely the type of person to buy into an app like this. It turns out that it was the right decision this time though. For roughly 5 minutes, he was messing around with the app, but just as he was starting to get fed up with it and uninstall it, alongside all the other ghost apps, this happened.
And just to be clear, there's no error, there's nothing on right now. Can you move the other one? Hold up.
Part of his drum played without him being anywhere near it, so Chris decided to go and inspect the kit. It was here that he discovered a handprint that looked as if it belonged to a child, but as he mentioned, he had no kids, and he definitely didn't have any fosters. This begs the question, what caused the drum to play? Well, at the start of the video, there were not any handprints on the kit, so it is evident that the feature was added mid-tape. I'll let you decide what caused this in the comments, but I'm sure we all have the same answer. Now that you've had a guess, I would like to reveal that we actually know the answer to that question now. A few days after this incident, Chris posted another clip to his TikTok page in the exact same property, and it was just as weird. He was hearing tapping noises from one of the bedrooms, so decided to go in and see what was up, and it was pretty crazy. Take a look. Somehow, the door closed by itself at the end, and it was not in a natural manner whatsoever. Upon many attempts at zooming in to expose any tricks that Chris might have used to fake this, nothing was found, which means this clip has to be authentic. Matching it with the fact the drum kit moved too, makes it obvious that this place is haunted, and I advise him to seek help as soon as he possibly can. Ricardo had been believing his house was haunted for a very long period of time, but the only problem was that none of his parents would ever believe him, and he was aware of this. Instead of making them aware of his concerns, Ricardo decided to let the things he saw go unnoticed, no matter how unhinged or out of the blue they were. One day, though, he got a sudden burst of motivation to get help on defeating the poltergeist, so decided to start recording and see what interesting clips he could find. This was one of them. Strangely, lots of things were happening inside of Ricardo's room, and his parents would be beyond imbeciles to watch this clip and believe anything other than a spirit being present. Ricardo used this logic and presented the evidence to them, and they agreed that they would offer him help if he managed to obtain 2 more pieces of evidence. Motivated as ever, Ricardo kept recording in critical moments, and it wasn't long whatsoever until he caught his second clip. This time round, a piece of art on the wall was moving, and Ricardo showed his parents again. This time they were much more concerned due to the item moving being one of their possessions, but without the third piece of evidence they were not going to give their son the benefit of the doubt. Ricardo was not a quitter though, and despite taking a whole fortnight to capture his last piece of evidence, he didn't give up throughout this time period, and it really paid off. Have a watch. Not only did the cabinet actually open itself, but it threw an item out which made it unexplainably abnormal. Ricardo's parents watched this one and finally took a turning point in regards to their attitudes on ghosts. They are in talks with ghost hunters currently, and I wish them the best in securing one at a reasonable price tag. On May the 29th of 2016, Angel and Willie were both in the kitchen when something absurd happened. Roughly 5 minutes before the incident, the two of them were in their rooms having the time of their lives without any clue what was going to happen to them in such a short period of time. Out of nowhere, their father shouted for them both to come downstairs and told them to start making dinner because they wanted to and it was time. Just as they got started, Willie needed the toilet, and when they came back, Angel was in a much different state of mind.
What the?
What are you doing in here?
Watch that drawer. What the heck is that?
Wait, what? You're joking. Are you doing that?
How am I doing that? I'm recording.
Liar.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go.
As odd as this was, the drawer started opening and closing without any visible force being applied to it, and Angel refused to believe her own eyes. It was because of this that she pulled out her phone and started to film the incident, because the trust in her phone camera far exceeded that of any other visionary source. When the duo went to make their parents aware, they were told to speak to a priest, not them, and listened. Hopefully the person of which they eventually get aid from is of help. This next clip is so insane that experts needed files of evidence to prove that it was a spirit causing it rather than a literal earthquake. The time was 11 o'clock at night, and Vadim was in his room getting ready to rest for the night. It had been a long day for him, and all he wanted was some peace and quiet that coincided with the comfort of his bed. Little did he know that his wishes were not on the agenda of a poltergeist. A note to take before this is that Vadim has never experienced anything of this sort before, so even his reaction is on the abnormal side.
Октября, 2 часа ночи. Вот такое веселье у нас почти каждую ночь. Удовольствие. О, тихо, ша.
See what I mean by evidence was needed to prove it wasn't an earthquake. I was very surprised when I found out that the place wasn't on the seismic meter. Vadim contacted his landlord shortly after this incident, in hopes that he would be allowed to move to a new place of rent in due course. But with the contract being 6 months, he would need to pay a fee. The sad thing is that Vadim does not have the funds to pay for something like this, so still has to live there for another 2 months. Not even my luck will be able to help him. The following video was recorded by a business owner who specialized in 24/7 security cameras. This meant that the business watched homes every single hour of the day to make sure that nothing was going on, and they had a lot of clients. People buy stuff like this when they believe their house is at high threat, and anything could happen. So working with this business means maximum security at all costs. It may easily be able to help against robbers and general criminals though, but security does nothing to stop a ghost from haunting your dreams. Have a watch.
Every night I'm at work, I be thinking I'm tripping. But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed? Like I know for a fact this ghost at my client's house. I be seeing, you see it keep moving like right there under the bed? It's moving back and forth. You see it? It's ghost in my client's house. Look under her bed. It'll come out and go back. Now she in bed sleep. She ain't moved an ounce. But do you see how it keep coming out, going back in? This is no joke. My client truly has ghosts in her house. You see it? She don't have a dog, she don't have a cat, but it's always something moving in her room on camera at night. Sometime it'll fly directly across the camera. Be creeping me the heck out, like no doubt. I'm gonna just be still so y'all can see. You see it moving in there again? Look at that. It's moving up by the bed now on the frame. And then you'll see it move again. You see that? I think I'm tripping. Maybe I want to. It's real live ghost in here in her house. And no matter how I turn the camera, that ghost is in that room and it ain't going nowhere.
As you can clearly see, a poltergeist was slipping in and out from under the bed. It was very creepy, and the owner asked the person sleeping for consent to post this, and fortunately, got it, meaning we were able to show you it today. The sleeper claims that it would just have been dust or something, but I think it was something much worse. Meet Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter and the most successful YouTube ghost hunter in the entire world. Ian visits all sorts of haunted places for long explorations and gets paid a lot of money to do so, with the following clip being from his visit to an abandoned asylum that was known for hosting many deaths. This place packed tons of thrills that even Ian became frightened of, but he prevailed and compiled a 2-hour video for his fans. On this channel, I've been showing a brief clip from every video, and that does not stop on this one. Enjoy.
Ida, that was you. Could you speak again? It was hard to make out what you were saying. Ida, why do you still linger here? You know you're free to go, right? I heard that you hung yourself from this broom above me. Why did you do it? Whoa. I keep hearing like her voice, but it's hard to make out any words. Whoa. That sounded a little more intelligible, but still, I can't make out what the words are. Ida, what was going through your mind when you took your own life? What drove you to do such a thing? Trapped here. You felt trapped here? I am so sorry. You know you don't have to stay here anymore, Ida. This place is completely shut down now. You're free to go. Ida, what's it? Whoa. Oh my god. Whoa. Dude. She is screaming. She is screaming through this device. Oh my god, that is terrifying. Why are you screaming, Ida? What's wrong? I have never heard a woman scream through this device before. That is absolutely terrifying. Ida, what is wrong? I want to help you.
The spirit claimed that it was trapped there, and after Ian gave it his full permission to leave the vicinity, it screamed. Any sort of scream is enough to terrify someone, but when it comes from a spirit, the fear factor is bound to be multiplied by 100. I just hope that Ian is now okay. Like and subscribe for more clips from Ian. A husband and wife had been dealing with some rough paranormal activity, and it had gotten to the point that they had to leave their house for a few days. As they were leaping though, the husband turned around and caught a snapshot of a face in the window before it quickly vanished. They went back inside the house to record and see if anything was actually inside of it, or whether it was a concerning shadow, and this is what happened in the home. They heard noises in the room whilst their dog was barking, and this was too coincidental to not have been a paranormal presence. The husband tested his luck and logged onto the camera app to see if he could witness anything else, and the figure of a ghostly woman could be seen looming in the corner. They quickly took their children out of the house and left it for a weekend. We can only hope that the spirit is gone once they arrive back. Every Sunday without fail, Thomas, a man who despised his job, made the absolute most of his day off by tapping into his inner alcoholic. Him and some friends would always join a call on their devices and play all sorts of games together, such as Call of Duty and Fortnite, but whenever they got a kill, they had to have some alcohol. This gave Thomas a reasonable excuse as to why he saw something that he assumed to be paranormal, and he blamed it on the drunkenness. But due to capturing it on camera, we know that this was not the case.
It's a fucking Sunday, dude. Do it again, my God! Oh my God. Okay, that was... I mean, it's not worth the fact that you broke my glass, dude. That was like 1,500 points at Dave & Buster's. That's a feat. Dude, you have to do some extra shit. Let's do some examinations, bro. I'm tripping out actually pretty hard. I just kind of want to get up.
The poltergeist threw 2 glasses alongside a valuable item on the floor, and it is safe to say that Thomas was pretty annoyed by this sudden outburst. He came to the conclusion that the beer had led him to seeing this, but once he rewatched the footage a day later, he was truly spooked and uploaded it to YouTube. In the following video, a young boy called Ricky was doing some homework at his work desk when the most unexpected thing possible happened. He claimed that the cup beside his computer had moved on its own accord, and this is what beckoned him to start recording. If he hadn't captured this on film, then nobody would have believed him, but fortunately, he did, and we are lucky enough to be able to watch it. Before I show you the video though, if you have any paranormal clips and would like me to break them down in a future video for you, then send the footage to hauntedforofficial@gmail.com and give me the story of what happened. Have a look.
Right now I saw this cup just move and I got scared, man. I've seen strange things going on in my house, so maybe, I don't know what could happen, but... Whoa! Whoa! What's that? What was that? Oh, it's moving. Whoa. What's that, man? Oh, snap!
Strangely, the cup fell to the ground not once but twice, but many people have tried to debunk this event. Heaps of people claim that the cup could have easily had an attached string because the camera quality was so low, but no matter how far you zoom into it, this is not the case. It was pretty evident that no visible force acted upon Ricky's cup, meaning he must have encountered a ghost. Ricky has not suffered from anything similar since. Donna Ayers has been on the paranormal radar for quite some time now and has made appearances on some of the oldest videos on my channel. This is because her house is haunted, and whilst she is pretty certain that the culprit of all the hauntings is her passed-away husband, the events still instill fear into her nonetheless. The video that you are about to see took place in a planned attempt to capture the ghost in action, and it went pretty well for Donna.
Just doing a bit of the Ouija board and my key started moving, so I thought I'd just record it. It was just strange. I've had this before with the keys though, nothing new really. They moved just as I was putting the Ouija board on the table. There you go. Told you. And I don't really give a shit what you people think neither, because it's happening. Hello? Knock the keys off.
She wanted the spirit to move the keys after incentivizing it through the use of a Ouija board, and it listened. A spirit that listens to its victims is quite a rare occurrence, hence why Donna believed it came from her husband, followed by the fact the hauntings started shortly after he left the world. This is the only reason that Donna has not decided to banish the spirit, but it is seriously getting her close to considering it. Being a fireman is one of the most respected jobs in society, and this is because you are going out of your way to save people's lives. Day by day, these people are put into life-threatening situations to save others and do not get paid the amount that they should, considering they could die on the job, but they continue their good deeds nonetheless. The piece of footage that I am going to expose you to took place in the midst of a fire and was recorded by somebody who worked within the fire service. It is important to note that they were 100% certain that there was nobody in the building at the time, and there are no logical explanations for what happened.
Okay. I'm gonna try and look in and see what it's like. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's been down low. Oh, yeah.
You should see it right now. It's amazing. Look to the window. It's like exploding. Hold your breath and go look. Just make sure you can get out because it's pretty cute. It's pretty amazing inside there. Did you look in the doorway?
Yeah, flames are coming out.
No, better not be.
Graham and Autumn better be out of there. We're out. Oh, I'm in. Oh, I'm in. Oh, I'm in. Yeah, hey, Graham and Autumn, go get out.
Woo! It's getting out of hand right now. Hey, the water's dripping off the house is hot. Whoa. Whoa, you hear that? Gee whiz. It's like busting the glass out. Look at that. Gee, you hear it?
The fireman decided that he was going to investigate the building as his unit had only just arrived on scene and the fire was pretty strong. Little did he know that as he entered the building, some sort of shadow figure would peek out from behind the doorway before taking cover again. The worker told all of his colleagues about what he saw and even showcased the footage to them, which incentivized them to search the building a second time for any people. But again, nobody was found. This must have been a ghost. It was the day before Halloween, and two hikers set out on a long trip to a rural area in Scotland. That evening there was a storm due, but they had the gear that they needed, so were able to push on and not give up on their adventure. Eventually, they came across an old house that had been around since the 1800s. Due to the torrential conditions, they decided to enter this place to take cover from the oncoming storm, but little did they know the weather would be so bad that they would not be able to leave. Furthermore, they had no idea that there was a spirit present.
Found the bothy book. You put my glasses on now to find us a bat. So this is popular, quite popular bothy by the looks of it. Someone actually stayed last night. It was nice and tidy when we came in. So plaudits to whoever stayed here last night. Well done, absolutely spotless. Whoa. Hold on a minute. Whoa. Whoa. I'm out. I'm out of here. No.
Right, you can't see us here, but we just ran out of this room there. That was totally weird. The door just started to move on its own, and then it just pretty much slammed shut. I mean, Marty's out there,
It moved something in the room which put both of them on high alert, but the least they expected was for the door to move on its own accord. They tried to escape the facility, but to their disappointment, the wind was pushing against the door, which meant they could not close it. This was not a good situation.
I mean, I don't particularly believe in ghosts, and if there's more, so we're kind of thinking that it might have been just like the backdraft of the wind. I mean, there's a storm going on outside, so
yeah. But I still don't believe it was the wind, but it's the only when the wind's blowing that strong outside, and there's no, it's the only rational explanation, even though I'm not even looking at that. No, I'm not looking at it. It's moving, right? So, I'm honestly, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go.
This can't be right.
I don't.
I'm not.
It's black in here as well. I can't see a thing.
So there's a chair over there, and it just started. It just started to move, which is.
No way. I'm not. I'm not even. No.
This is bonkers.
I'm not having any part of this.
That is moving. It is moving. That chair is moving.
Just leave it.
Oh, Christ.
After this incident, the location had a blackout and all electricity stopped working, including the cameras. They both went to bed in nothing but fear that night and left first thing in the morning for obvious reasons. The following clips took place in an abandoned Japanese hotel that has had many reports regarding hauntings in the past. The hotel has become so famously known for its evil and disturbing nature that the owners needed a plan to keep getting customers, and so they turned its whole selling point into the fact it was haunted and raised the prices. This duo decided to visit the hotel for a YouTube video, and what they caught was expected, considering the environment but still spooky nonetheless. Take a look.
Oh, ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。え？なんだ。お、ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。何？え？音が。ちょっと。うわ。
The woman was locked in a room by Herschel for experimental purposes, and she heard a bang that happened for unknown causes. It switched to the man's POV, which confirmed nothing around could have made this sound happen, but that was not all.
で、その返答がちょっと待って。え、どうした？え、どういうこと？ちょっと待ってね。え？え、開いたし、は？
鍵が。
震えようや。ちょっと、俺もは？どういうこと？わからん。どういうこと？震えようし。マジか。
SB をつけたまま。いや、なんかね。ちょっと怖い。
なんでどういうこと？状況説明して。
ちょっと待って。
いやいや、落ち着いてからでいい。
んばんは。今こちらの部屋に誰かいますか？なんかね、音がするな。誰かいたら反応をお願いします。なんでこれ？ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。ちょっとやばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。何？ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。あ、ちょっと待って。ちょっと無理。あ、スピボが。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。なんで？鍵が開かない。どういうこと？マロー。やばいやばい。ちょっと来て。ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って、なんで？開かない。鍵が開かん。どういうこと？マジでガチでやばい。どうしよう、スピードもつけたまんま。ちょっと待って。おかしいよね、なんで？どういうこと？やばいやばい、マジで早く来て。なんで開いた？鍵が。
これよ。焦ったなんかと思った。まあ一旦落ち着こう。ちょっと待って待って。焦った、めっちゃ走った。いや俺もさ、
ちょっと待って。
俺もジンバルがおかしくなったんよ。
ドンって音がしたんよ、大きい。
あれここやった？
多分分からん。こっちから聞こえて。
あ、扉のとこ？
扉か分からんけど、そこ座っとったんよ。
はいはい。
で、大きい音がして、その前にも音はしよったんよね。
俺もドンって聞こえた。
で、ドンってもうやばいと思って、でちょうどスピードしよったんよね。で、やばいと思って、もう逃げてしまったんよ、私。
あ、音で？
音でびっくりして。
あ、じゃあさっきの音だ。
じゃあもう鍵が閉まった。
俺すんなり開いたよ。
鍵が閉まっちゃうんかわからん。鍵が閉まっちゃうのかわからんけど、開かんかったの、これが。鍵をこうカチャカチャしよって。
なんで？
それでも開かんで。
俺来たらすんなり開いたよね。
ちょっとわからん。
All sorts of haunting things happened, and after all of this, they decided to make their way back home. The hotel lived up to its name of being extremely haunted with sounds and moving objects, so even the most brave of ghost hunters would not have coped. Each and every video at the moment includes a clip from Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter. One of his more recent explorations came in a haunted manor that was local to him, and after a lot of research, he decided to give it a search. This adventure has conjured up countless amazing clips of haunted activity that we have explored, and the one here does not disappoint either. Have a look.
What else does he have in here? Anything in there? No. Oh, gross. What is that? What does it look like? Almost like fingernail clippings in there. Yeah, I'm definitely not touching those. What is that? Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What was that? What was that? It was the coat hanger. How do you explain that? Oh, I'm sorry, Hank. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I'll leave you alone if you want me to. Do you want me to leave? Okay. I'm leaving.
Ian entered the bedroom of one of the children in the manor, and he expected this place to be the least haunted in the building. To his dismay, though, it did not live up to his hypothesis. A clothing hanger launched itself out of a drawer onto the floor in front of Ian, and it jump-scared him, rather than straight up putting him into fear. This was a mysterious event, and he was lucky to have caught it on camera. The following video took place in the garage of David, a badminton player who only loved one thing more than his sport of choice: motorcycles. He had always dreamed of owning one, and when he was finally in a situation that he could call financially stable, he took it upon himself to buy one. It was a top model considering that he was new to riding, but fortunately, he was able to purchase it at a cheap price from an old merchant. One thing that he failed to consider was the reason the price was so cheap, and he was about to find out in this video.
Yeah, check it out, guys. So I just got it. It's a 2022 KTM XCW. Fuck was that? I just got it a couple months. Fuck, Jesus Christ.
Mid-recording, the badminton racket collapsed to the ground, and it was almost as if a person had interfered with it. However, it was very obvious that this was far from the case. There was nobody else in the room with David, and furthermore, he felt a wave of chills swarm his body, so he knew that something was up. It was just a matter of what. He contacted the person that the motorcycle was purchased from, and all they said was 2 words: "It's attached." Zach was home alone at 2 in the morning, and this was supposed to be a relaxed and calm night. Little did he know that he was not home alone after all. Whilst his parents were gone, he was put in charge of the household, and bear in mind nothing of the paranormal sort had ever occurred inside. That all came to an end on this fateful night. Zach reported all sorts of things that happened throughout, but he was only able to capture a small segment on camera. But we all know that quality is better than quantity, and despite not filming what he did film was crazy. Take a look.
I don't want to fuck this house anymore. What the? What the? No! Oh.
Zach was in his bed far from relaxing, but suddenly he felt a cold feeling and took it upon himself to record, given that he had already experienced weird things that night. It is strange that he was given this urge, but fortunate at the same time, because he was able to get the movement of his trash can on tape. And as you could tell from the reaction, this was very frightening. I received no updates after this incident, so what happened next is down to your imagination. So let me know your predictions in the comments down below. On September the 29th of 2015, a YouTube channel that goes by the name X-Mangage uploaded a video that caused a lot of concern among the audience. It took place in what looked like his kitchen, and we have no idea what actually incentivized him to start filming, but something must have, and it paid off. The time was 1:33 in the morning when this horrifying sequence of events took place.
This.
At first, the events could be easily excused or passed off as fake because electrical scenarios can be called off as issues in power. However, the fact the lights were swinging gave the audience a bit of a reason to believe it happened. This was not what sealed the deal, though. In the ending, a ton of kitchen items collapsed to the ground in an almighty crash, and there is no passing that off as some electrical issue. This was most definitely a ghost, and if ex-Mangaj doesn't want to fell, it's wrath again. He and his family should take immediate action. When a ghost starts to haunt your household, it can be some pretty scary stuff, but when you realize it's attached to you specifically, things become far worse. The man in the next clip had been living in the same home for years with absolutely no hauntings, but out of nowhere I started to notice some weird things happening. These things became so ridiculously overwhelming that he was forced to move out to a new home to escape them. Little did he know that this was not going to do the trick.
You're not allowed here. Leave. 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 This is my house. No. What the man?
It was very obvious that this place was haunted. And even after this clip, more things happened. The man filming put 2 and 2 together and realized that the same ghost had probably followed him to the newest location, meaning he couldn't simply walk away from it. If he wanted to escape, he had to hire an expert. And unfortunately, that isn't something that he is in the financial position to do. He will have to deal with it. What most people do when they discover the presence of a spirit in their house is they take action against it, and there are many ways to go about this. From hiring a professional ghost hunter to contacting priests, the solutions are endless, but each one has one thing in common. In order to get them to come and cleanse your house, you need a good amount of evidence because these guys do not waste their time. When Owen realized his place was haunted, he tried to reach out to these people who said the usual response. Come back to us when you have some valid proof, but instead of quitting, he went out of his way to get it. The upcoming clip is from Owen trying to provoke the spirit in order to get it to do something. He filmed this as the entire point was to have concrete proof, and this is what he got.
Come on, where are you? Come on. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I've seen you around here, so I've heard you around here somewhere. Show yourself, though. Show yourself. Come. Pull another one out. Pull another one out. Pull another one out. I hope. You know. That's enough now. Don't do no more.
This looks like concrete proof to me. From a drawer opening without any visible force interacting with it to a large object collapsing, these two incidents happening within the same time span was way too coincidental for this to have been anything other than a ghost. After the event, Owen got back in contact, and a few hunters decided that the mission was worth their while considering the pay. All we can do is wish Owen the best of luck in the future. In the following video, Ewan, a regular man in a regular house, decided that he was going to record something crazy and show it to a public audience. Roughly 2 days before filming this video, Ewan experienced his first ever paranormal incident when some cupboards started opening and closing on their own accord. At first, he thought of as many natural reasons for this to happen as he could, but the one thing that kept coming back to his mind was that this was a ghost, and it wasn't there for friendly reasons. Fast forward to the time of this video, and Ewan noticed the cupboards doing the exact same thing, so took out his camera to record this.
This cupboard door is opening up by itself, right in front of my eyes for the second time in a week and a half. I want to show that I'm not pulling anything, there's nothing going on, I'm not tugging on anything. This is really happening right here. And there we are. It's alright, go ahead. There you go. Again, I'm not pulling on anything. There's nobody here with me pulling on anything. There's no wind. That fan isn't on or anything. Again, there's nothing going on. This is the real deal. Something in my house has been doing this, and this isn't the first time.
As you can see, the cupboards were opening by themselves, and Ewan made it as evident as possible that he was not involved in this movement, so it is hard not to believe him. He also felt a spine-tingling sensation surrounding his body, which is a common sign of a ghostly presence, so the fact he felt this says a lot about what happened that day. As of now, Ewan isn't taking action against this ghost, but he should, and in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before he does. Kayla is a resident besides the Appalachian Woods, which is a mysterious location to put things lightly. All sorts of out-of-the-ordinary incidents take place there, and Kayla was taught from a young age to stay clear. Another lesson that her father taught her was that if you hear a baby crying in these woods, it is not a baby, and you should not go looking, and she heard it quite frequently, but chose to follow her father's advice. One day when the crying started again, Kayla thought that it would be cool to record it and show social media how weird her place of living was, and this was the clip. The bawling echoed around the woods and would have woken up anybody surrounding too, so I hope that this doesn't happen at night. It is unknown what actually causes these cries, but the only reason people are skeptical is because those who have gone into the woods in search of the baby have never come out, and the locals have learned from those mistakes. If you have ever watched a video on my channel before then, I am certain you know of Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter. Ian is a well-known ghost hunter with 100,000 loyal subscribers on YouTube that watch him explore all kinds of haunted facilities. For years, Ian did these adventures for nothing but passion, but when he realized that he could get views on YouTube, he decided to go for it, and that is how he makes his money from the hunts. In the clip that I am going to expose your eyes to shortly, he was exploring a haunted asylum, but you haven't heard the craziest part yet. He did this alone, and this is what he managed to get on camera.
If there's any patients in any of these rooms, could you call out? Is anyone in here? Ooh. I swear to God, I just heard a little boy's voice out here. Who's there? Hello? Whoa, it just came from in here. Wait. This is Noah's room. Noah? I think I just heard you. Was that you I just heard talking? Dang. Look at all these toys. They're just sprawled out everywhere. Noah, if you're in here, I'd just like to be your buddy, okay? Could you say your name? Hello? Are you there? I see you've got a lot of toys. Could you move one of them? That ball over there? It almost seems like he's a little shy. I just heard him talking just a little bit ago. I'm not hearing or seeing anything though. Is that a picture of him? Right there. I wonder if that's what he looked like. All right, Noah. I'm gonna let you continue to play or whatever you're doing in here. Thanks for talking though. What the hell? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What is that? Whatever it is, it just jingled and came rolling out of his room. Holy crap. Dude. What the heck is that thing? It looks like some old rolling toy or something. Holy moly. Dude, this thing just rolled out of his room. Thank you, Noah. Thank you so much. This thing looks ancient. Ooh. Whoa, look at that. Oh, dude, this thing rolls forever. Is that, oh my god, you see that? Dude, it's almost as if he just freaking rolled it even faster. Oh gosh. I mean, I don't know, it could be the way it's designed.
At first, the boy that used to occupy that room before he unfortunately passed away refused to do anything special other than generate noise. But it was when Ian left that the spirit decided to give him a bit of entertainment. It rolled a toy across the room that conveniently generated the most noise out of all of them, and this was likely to instill fear into Ian. If that was the case, it worked. And make sure to subscribe, because more clips from Ian will be in future videos. The following video was uploaded to YouTube on August the 6th of 2010 by a user called Looker2, who we don't have much information on. In this particular instance though, he was educating his potential viewers on how to install mods for a video game on PC, but little did he know what was going to happen during this recording. He wasn't able to progress further than even the intro when this happened.
Hey guys, this is Looker2. I'm gonna make a modding tutorial video. So here it is. Alright. It's weird. Alright, so anyway. Oh man. Okay. There's the door.
Strangely, the light turned off on its own accord, and a lot of people said that it was likely due to an electrical issue. However, people don't take into consideration that Looker 2 had to go and physically flick the light switch, meaning that something else must have physically moved it too. Furthermore, it was followed by even more disruptive activity, proving that the light event was not in isolation, meaning it could not have been a coincidence. This was definitely a spiritual scenario, and everything points towards that being the case. Matt and his son Hugo were both in bed waiting for the mother of the house to arrive home from work. Matt finished his work at roughly 8 p.m, so decided to spend his free hour with his children, although one of them was fast asleep despite such an early hour. Roughly 25 minutes passed since Matt had arrived home, and he was becoming rather frustrated that his wife still wasn't back with them. She was supposed to have finished her shift at 8:15, but that clearly wasn't the case. It was at the peak of Matt's stress that something happened which would trigger his stress levels even more. Have a look.
¿Por qué no dormís ya todavía? ¿Va a dormir? Cargoso, el otro. ¿Ya se durmió, Leandro? ¿Se durmió o no? Capaz que está durmiendo, tú estás jugando con la luz. Quédate ahí, Tobias. No vayas, Tobias, quédate ahí. Quédate ahí, no vengas. Tobias, quédate ahí, no te despiertes, ahí vengo, Tobias, quédate ahí. Ahora voy, Tobias, No te desperté todavía, quédate ahí. Ahora voy yo.
The room that his youngest child was fast asleep in started acting up, and it was almost as if there was something else in there. From the light swinging to the broomstick dropping onto the bed, this was very freaky, especially when taking into account that it occurred within a young child's bedroom. The reason that Matt was so calm throughout this was that he didn't want to disturb his son from sleeping, so tried his best to stay silent. Upon her arrival, Matt's wife was shown the video, and they are now both in contact with several experts to resolve the issue, so I wish them the best of luck. A single father had recently moved into a brand new property with his daughter, but they had no idea of its history before making the purchase. It was built in the late 1900s, and it was supposed that somebody had died inside of the basement during its construction. Upon further research, the father realized that this story was true, and considering a lot of mysterious things were happening inside of the house, he was able to piece 2 and 2 together. This location was beyond haunted, and the entity haunting it was none other than the construction worker. This is when he came to the decision to take out his camera and run an experiment with his daughter, and this is how it ended up going.
Okay, so there's been a lot of paranormal, creepy stuff that's been happening in my basement because when my basement was being built, somebody died down here, and my house was built in 1982. Oh, my door just moved. Okay, it's kind of creepy. Is anybody in there? Should I go in there?
I guess, yeah. Let's look.
Nobody's in there. Behind the door. Well, this really doesn't have anything in it. Okay, maybe we should just go back out now. Okay, I think that should be it. I don't know. Whoa. Okay.
Wait a minute, I can't. Let me turn on the night.
Okay.
Wait.
Is it on? Is night vision on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. God, the chair's moving. Okay.
Fortunately, the experiment was a huge success, and all sorts of unorthodox things happened around the house. First of all, the door to the bathroom opened on its own accord, and it was evident that no visible forces were being applied to it. In between that, quite a few frightening things happened, and at the very end, they heard noises from upstairs. All of this put together made for a great video documenting their experience to post to social media, but they were nowhere near finished there. They wanted to do another test to make their viewers certain that they were actually experiencing a haunting, and this one was much more accurate. This time around, they decided that the father was going to come into the room at a random point of the day and start filming his daughter to see if they could catch the ghost in its acts once again. Making predictions, they both thought that the spirit would never show itself on camera again, and they weren't too far-fetched to say that. However, that by no means implies that they were right. Take a look.
What you doing, Catherine?
Playing a game.
Yeah, where's everybody at?
Upstairs. I've been playing, I've been hearing a whole bunch of weird stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's kind of creeping me out, so, I don't know, this game's getting really boring. Let's just turn this off. Okay. Oh my god, this is so scary, isn't it?
What was that?
Whoa. It just fell. Whoa. Should I pick it up?
It's all by itself. The chair just moved.
Whoa. Okay. It's kind of creeping me out. Let's go this way. Oh, I just feel like I got slapped in the stomach. And chair. The door's opening. Oh my god.
Did that door just open by itself?
Yeah. Let's just go into this room here. The light's not working. We're gonna need the night vision here.
Why isn't the light working?
I don't know. It's just not working.
Hey, hang on, let's see here if I can find
Is it on?
Okay.
Okay, let's just start looking around and see if anything moves in here. So I should pay attention to everything. I don't even know what these are up here.
Wait, what's going on over here?
Moving? Holy cow.
Go look over there. Let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go.
It is arguable that the poltergeist was much more prominent in this video, as it was able to perform more acts than last time. It seemed that no matter where the father panned the camera, something out of the ordinary happened, and it was evident that the man who passed away inside of their basement was not pleased with the ghost life in the slightest. There was no need to take it out on the family living there, though. If its goal was to drive them out, then it was failing, because the father was adamant on not letting the spirit get its own way with things. This is why he discontinued the experiments and stopped giving it attention entirely. For a week or so, this did the trick, and none of them witnessed anything of the paranormal sort. That was until the daughter was filming a Snapchat video for her friends. She was innocently dancing and sharing the video to a group chat full of her friends, but clearly the spirit was not fond of the idea of fun, because it closed the door. It was very lucky that the girl was able to capture this on camera, because it was a rather spontaneous event, and it was able to be uploaded onto YouTube. This saga is horrible, and if any more videos end up being uploaded, I will include it in future videos, so make sure to subscribe. Now this next video shakes things up a little bit, and might not actually have been caused by something of a paranormal nature. All I am going to say is that it sounded a little bit too real to have been a ghost. The time was 11 p.m. and Racy, a professional dancer, was recording a video to post to social media where she educated people on how to perform a certain dance. Rather than doing this for monetary gain, she did it out of pure passion, which is why many people followed her. But this time, something else overpowered her moves, and it was something much scarier.
Estuve explicando estos pasos y de pronto.
2 y 1, 2, 3. Hacemos 3 laterales. Igual mi compañera. 1.
A loud and deathly scream echoed around the apartment complex, and it was almost as if somebody had been killed. It is important to know that the place of which this occurred was known to be haunted, so this was not a standalone event, but no screams had been reported there, so if it was one of the well-known ghosts, it did something new. This is why many people believe a ghost did not cause this, and it was a real person, but I guess I am going to have to leave that one up for discussion to remain without bias. On July the 6th of 2025 at roughly 7 p.m., Kyle Anthony heard some noises in his garage that caught his attention quickly. For those of you who are new to the channel, Kyle is far from a newcomer to the paranormal, and this garage saga has been going on for quite some time. In his garage lies the entrance to his attic, which will randomly start shaking without any visible force being applied onto it. Kyle has ventured up into the attic a few times, and came across a box containing a doll with no eyes to which he believes is causing events like this to happen.
We meet again, rattling attic door. It's been a while, and I'm not going in there. Gosh dang it. I'm not going in there, y'all. I'm sick of this shit.
As I said, the attic entrance rattled really aggressively, and it was as if an angry person was causing it, but obviously, there was no person on the camera. Unlike the other occasions though, Kyle decided that he had finally had enough with this spirit, and was no longer going to blindly buy into its bait and enter the attic. Every time he did this, it seemed that things became worse overnight, and he was a man who learned from his mistakes rather than repeating them. I hope that ignoring the spirit does the trick for Kyle, and all of these things stop happening to him. If you have ever watched a video on my channel before, then the likelihood is that you have heard of the most appeared YouTuber on here, the Midwest Ghost Hunter, whose real name is Ian. He does all sorts of long explorations of haunted hellholes and uploads videos of up to 2 hours documenting the experiences, and they seem to get more frightening every time. The one that I am going to expose you to shortly does not break that trend. It took place in an abandoned and hence haunted asylum that was known for being ridiculed with ghostly activity. Ian was brave to visit this place, let alone stay there for as long as he did, but we have to thank him because he was able to capture this.
Dang, it is creepy out here. Not as creepy as in there, though. Not by a long shot.
Hopefully this wind doesn't mess up the audio too bad. Hello, is anyone out here? Willows Cowden? Are you out here working? There it is, guys. That is one creepy barn. Willows, if you're in that barn, could you come out and talk to me? Get my flashlight out here. Hello? Willows, if you're in here, could you show yourself? Are you in here? If you're in here, could you make a noise? Whoa. That came from above. What the heck is that? Willows, is that you working up there? Are you still baling hay? Yup. Whoa. Dude, he just responded. I swear to God, I just heard a yup. Thanks for talking with me, Willows. What was it like falling from that window? What happened? Holy crap. I can hear him up there. But there's really no way I can get up there. Unless I'm freaking Spider-Man. There's no way to get up there. It literally sounds like he's just pounding away up there. Doing something. God, I wish I could see up there. I know. There's that window out here. I could look up at that. Willows, are you up there, buddy? Whoa. I just heard his voice. I heard a voice shout from up there. Did he just shout at me through the window? Willows, if you're up there, could you look out the window? No way. No way. Dude, I just saw him in there. Holy shit, dude, he just peeked out from the freaking window. Oh my God. Dude, that was so insane.
It is certainly safe to call this the most frightening clip captured and showcased on my entire channel. Not only was Ian able to get literal words out of the spirit, but it somehow became visible for a split second, proving its presence to the world. This was the definition of a haunting, and if you want to see more clips captured by Ian, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, because he is featured in practically every video that I upload. The doors were closed, the windows were closed, and there was absolutely no air running through the house. These three facts joined together made sure that what happened in the video I am about to expose you to had a paranormal cause to it, and even doubters were turned into believers by it. The time was 11 p.m. and Stephen, a non-professional ghost hunter who simply did it as a hobby, was exploring a haunted home on Mount Albert located in Ontario, Canada. He knew this place would be ridiculed with spirits, but not to the extent that it actually was. Have a look.
Okay, that's kind of fucking weird. This thing is moving. There's no fan on or anything. This fucking thing's moving. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. This is like an old church. It's pretty crazy. Oh shit. That's up. something going on in here. Okay.
At first, the chandelier was swinging as if there was some form of force acting upon it. But as I explained before, there was no logical way that air could have been pushing against it. Stephen made sure to keep it on camera in case it intensified or led to any other ghostly sightings. And this turned out to be the correct decision due to the curtains drawing closed on their own accord. Both of these events confirmed that the house was haunted, and the duo at the house, Stephen had an accomplice called Carson, were becoming increasingly worried. This was because they had planned to sleep there for the night, with the permission of the owners, who invited them to come and visit, and they decided to sit down in the kitchen and attempt to calm themselves down with some heat from the oven. Unfortunately, the spirit's ideas failed to line up with those of Stephen and Carson because it performed another paranormal act for them both.
So like 15 minutes now, nothing's gone on. Chandelier, everything's good. We have this stove on because it's cold in here. There's no heat, so we just put the heater on this fucking thing in there. And yeah, there's me. Nobody else is with us. Nobody. And Carson and I were just talking, and we're like, "How are we gonna sleep here?" And he was getting a little bit worried, like, and I was like, "No, I don't care, like, really." What the?
Strangely, the china kettle slowly nudged itself closer and closer to Carson before making an attempt to fall on him. He was really fortunate to have noticed this in time, because if he failed to, who knows if the kettle would have smashed and caused severe harm, getting boiling hot water all over Carson. He was a lucky man that day. On September the 29th of 2011, Sean Wheatcroft and a friend of his that lived inside of the same university house decided that they were going to attempt to catch a poltergeist on camera that had been haunting the house for quite some time. The house was located in Leicester and held 8 people who all got along very well, but were certain the place was haunted. The majority were too frightened to be present whilst Sean and his friend tried to catch the ghost, hence why it was just those two in the video. But here you go.
Let's run down here. Where did you really? If someone down here, can you just bang or tap? Tap a couple of times.
I don't know if that's them bangs it, them upstairs. I'm putting them like that because they're easier to move then. Can you move any of these two glasses? They're really easy to move now, they're on the side. So if you can just push them at all.
Oh my god!
Oh,
turn the light on, man.
At first, the glass failed to move, and Sean speculated that this was due to it being stood up, which meant it required more energy for the spirit to cause anything. The moment that he laid them onto their sides, though, the poltergeist was happy to nudge one of the glasses and instill fear into both people present and everybody watching on social media from home like you. The men who occupy the university house are currently in contact with Leicester University on how to approach the situation, but as you would likely predict, they are not helping as much as they probably should. A Colombian woman by the name of Milana was setting up the kitchen for a family gathering when she suddenly became victim to a sinking feeling that something bad was about to happen. She had a family of roughly 40 people, and 28 of them were coming over for dinner that evening. All that she needed to do was cook some easy food, but when she received her gut-wrenching feeling regarding an upcoming disaster, she needed to take a seat for a moment, and it was while she was sitting there that the event happened.
Estoy aquí en el apartamento sola y acabo de escuchar algo en la cocina. No sé si ustedes lo escuchan, pero yo sí lo escucho. Ay, Dios.
Rather than a highly dangerous disaster where Milana would be put at risk, nothing too bad happened, and all she had to do was face a big fear of hers, a poltergeist. It moved the vase on the shelf all the way from the left to the right, and she was very fortunate to have caught it on video. When the family arrived, she explained that she was sorry she was unable to complete the food and asked somebody else to finish it off with guilt. She decided to not make them aware of what happened in case she aggravated the spirit into causing further mayhem, and it must have worked because nothing like this ever happened again. Similarly to the situation that Milana found herself in, the victim of our next clip was also operating in the kitchen, but in a situation far less dire. Zombie and her husband Emmanuel were in the kitchen together, making themselves some dinner, when all of a sudden they supposedly saw their food moving without any human interaction. Thinking that they were both seeing things, they decided that it would be best to ignore this mysterious sight and continue cooking. But once it happened again, they were certain that their eyes were not lying to them, and Zombie took out her camera to see what she could potentially catch. This is what she was able to record.
Nonsense. Oh.
If it was water, it should be moving like a lot.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Are you dead? Is that it?
Watching throws it across.
Don't see it, don't see it. I think that's it. I think it's not messing with our food.
Somehow, the already cooked and served food started moving across the counter, and it was very obvious that there were no strings or anything of the sort attached. This was a first-time experience for the duo, as none of them had ever gone through anything of the sort, and were sad that they eventually had to. After the incident, they sent the video to everybody that they possibly could in search of good advice, and the best that they got was to contact their local church, so they decided to go for it. A priest is now scheduled to visit their home and attempt a cleanse, so all we can really do is pray that this turns out to be a success. Roughly 1 year ago from now, a young man called Mason had a dream, and he had absolutely no idea that this was a premonition, meaning that it would one day become a reality. In this dream, a spirit was continuously knocking on his walls in a clear attempt to frighten him, and eventually he darted up from bed sweating, realizing that he was experiencing an altered reality. Fast forward 365 days though, and whilst Mason was watching the television, this started to happen.
Knock if you hear me. Knock if you hear me. Knock if you hear me. Knock if you hear me.
Mason initially started to record because he heard the knocking noise and instantly got some déjà vu from it. Since he had already dreamed the situation, he knew that it was going to continue for a few more minutes, so started to film to assure his relatives and friends that he was not lying when he decided to tell them. Who knows how many of your dreams could become reality, and based on the nightmares that everybody has, that would not be fun. Anyways, going back to the story of Mason, after the knocking incident, he was very frightened and didn't know whether it was the right idea to inform people or not. He came to the eventual conclusion that it wasn't, and thought people would not believe him despite the video evidence. This decision would not stick because something else occurred though. This time he heard sounds from outside of his room, and it was as if somebody was pottering around his house. Curious, he went to his door in order to investigate the scene, and this is when he was greeted with a large and menacing silhouette. Not what anybody wants on the other side of their door. This last clip was filmed by Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, as part of a long vlog inside of a haunted asylum. Over the last few videos, we have been including clips from this adventure, and from moving fruit to self-slamming doors, they continue to become worse and worse, with the one that I am about to show you not spoiling that trend. With that said, take a watch.
Heck is that thing? Looks like a horn of some sort. That's really weird. What is that thing? I don't even know. It's attached to something. Comment below if you know what that is. I have no idea. What the? Did that just turn on or did I leave it on? What the hell? I honestly can't remember if I actually left them on or they just turned on. I don't know. I have to look back at the footage and see later. Did someone just turn these lights on? Hello? Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I know for sure I turned it off, but I don't know if I turned it back on at some point. I can't, honestly, for some reason, I can't remember. This whole asylum, I feel like I am slowly losing my mind. I can't even properly remember things. Hello? What was that? I just heard something in here. Hello? Whoa. What the hell? My booster light just went out. And I can't get it to turn back on. What the hell? This has never happened before. This place is literally messing with me. Oh God! Oh, the lights just went out! And of course my freaking booster! Dude, this flashlight! Why isn't it working? Oh God! Oh, thank God! Get me out of here! Turn these fuckers back on! God, that was terrifying. Dude, of all the times for my booster light to go out and my freaking flashlight, dude, I couldn't see anything. I'm not doing anything else until I freaking get new batteries, a new light. Hell no.
All sorts of things happened within this terrifying 3 minutes for Ian, and he was fortunate to have made it out unscathed. It was extremely coincidental that his equipment stopped working at the exact same moment that the lighting in the complex did, and that alone points towards a paranormal cause in my books. Subscribe to my channel for more eerie clips from Ian. The following video was captured by Sam, and he was not new to the paranormal world. In fact, he could be considered an expert. For 2 long and draining months, Sam had been constantly hit with paranormal surges in his house, and he has no idea where all of this sparked from. Before this time period, he didn't even believe in ghosts, but throughout it, they have become his biggest fear. Anyways, one of his big dreams was to catch his spirit doing its acts on camera, but to his dismay, every single time that he pressed record, the sequences stopped. However, one day this didn't happen, and Sam finally got the footage that he had been gunning for such a prolonged period. Take a look. All around him, things were happening, and so much occurred in such a short span of time. He was walking around the house to make sure that everything he needed to get on video was caught, and it is safe to say he had a lot of evidence of this spirit's existence. As well as uploading it to social media, he also contacted a ghost hunter and showed them the clip, which was able to get him an appointment. We wish Sam the best in banishing this long-serving spirit. On January the 14th of 2008, which is a very long period of time ago, a group of friends decided that they were actually going to investigate something weird that was going on. They were doing a common method of living for young people called rent splitting, where a group of friends all pay an equal amount to live in a home. Little did any of them in this situation know that the house they split on was a hellhole for ghosts. At random intervals, the people in the house would hear noise coming from the basement, and whenever they checked, things moved. One day, they took a camera with them and went to investigate the scene. This is how that turned out.
We've lived here for about a year, and we always hear noises coming from this place. We think it's a cat, but we go in there and stuff moves, and we turn on lights and we look all over. There's no cats or there's no mice. There's no animals at all. You can't find any. But if you just sit there and wait, you see things actually move, and it's like, you know, you shine lights everywhere, you can't see anything.
Turn on your flashlight. Okay.
No, but seriously, dude, if you die, I have to go home, and that's not very fun.
No, that's hilarious.
Oh, they locked it. What the fuck? This is so fucking
No, it's not locked, dude. Check it out. Do it again. Say that again.
This is so fucking creepy.
Dude, somebody's told to live down here.
All right, wait. We're okay. What are you doing?
Is it on?
Yeah, what's going on? Dude, I'm not going in there.
I'm not going there. Fucking go.
Nicole, I think you should go. Alright, dude, fuck it. Let's leave.
Just afraid of spiders. Dude, come on.
What? Alright, I'll go. Alright, let me get some footing here. It's kind of hard.
Dude, just go. Hurry up.
You fucking go.
Oh shit! Dude! What the fuck? What was? Get it! Go!
Just like usual, something out of the ordinary happened, and they were all taken aback by this, the project leader specifically. He was the bravest of the bunch and decided to enter the main basement first, but the poltergeist made it really apparent that he was not welcome there. Wisely taking the hint, they all agreed that they should make their way back to the main house for safety and would never investigate the basement ever again. The sounds kept coming for the following week, and it was almost as if the poltergeist was begging for them to entertain it again, staying strong to their word, though none of the residents broke the idea and went into the basement. Little did they know that the spirit had power outside of it, and when it got bored, it decided to use that external power.
Yeah, a second ago that this sink was like doing some shit, man. Yeah, I think it looks like on now, like. Whoa! Oh! Let's see if it. I don't even like want to touch it. Okay, that's off. Now I turned it all the way on. It's just like sitting there. If you can hear me, show me a sign. Yeah, like that ever works. Oh! Alright, that's enough. Dude, no, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Shit's crazy.
It took it upon itself to mess with the tap and turned it on and off at different speeds. Now many people would pin this to be some form of issue with the pipes, but it doesn't take a genius to disprove this theory. The fact that the man filming had to turn the tap to deactivate it shows that something else must have also physically turned it. This was certainly a ghost. This next clip was recorded by an 11-year-old boy called Thomas, and a lot of people were angered by how he and his mother handled their spiritual encounter. It is important to note that none of them had ever experienced anything like this in the past, and were extremely frightened by what was to come, going as far as wanting to leave the home forever, despite the father of the family disagreeing. It was 10 o'clock in the evening when this happened.
What the heck?
Oh my goodness!
Wait, what the heck?
That's spooky. That's spooky.
That is weird.
It's nearly midnight as well.
It's actually, look. Oh my god.
It did it again.
What the hell?
It did it again. Look at the dog. It's freaked out. What is it?
I don't know. No, I don't want to.
Go see what it is.
I don't want to.
Go on.
I'm getting as far back as I can. I'm like against the wall.
It's stopped. It's stopped now.
Yeah.
Go see what it is.
No, it's
Go on.
scary.
Oh! I can hear a noise.
I can hear a noise. I heard it.
Go see what it is.
What? Maxie, get it. Maxie, get it.
What is it, Maxie? What is it? Maxie, get it.
What the heck?
What is it? I saw it. Something come out. And then it went back in. Is it a bird? Is there a little bird stuck in there or something?
We don't own a bird.
What about a little ghosty? Is it a ghosty?
Do you think?
Is it a ghosty?
Like, I don't believe in abnormal stuff, but this is just weird.
Maxie. Maxie.
Maxie, come here.
Maxie.
Get it.
Get it. What's it, Maxie? What's it? In there. Open the cupboard, Ollie. Open it.
No, I don't want
Maxie,
to.
sit. Sit. Sit.
That is actually so weird.
Open the cupboard, Ollie.
I'm gonna kick it.
Open it.
No. I don't want it.
The cupboard was moving as if it was controlling itself, and it was very evident that there was no visible force acting upon it. The reason that this video was followed by a decent amount of outrage is because neither the boy or the mother went to investigate the cupboard, because now there is no proof that this was the act of a poltergeist. For all the audience could know, it was a string system being pulled by somebody behind the cupboard, but I don't buy into that. I think that the only reason they didn't investigate was the factor of fear, and I think in that exact situation, I would be too frightened to open an investigation myself. Sean loved golf, and he was always practicing his technique on video so that he could compare it to celebrities like Tiger Woods and see how he could improve. On the day that the clip I am about to expose you to happened, Sean was doing his usual routine and swinging his club around his sitting room, but this time, he planned to upload it to social media and invite public criticisms. However, he had no idea that this video would garner him some views for different reasons.
Oh my god. Shut the f up. The f What the fuck? Shut the f
First of all, the golf club perfectly slipped into the rack without any human interaction, and Sean was taken very aback by this. Furthermore, the light above him started swinging rapidly, and sure, in isolation, these events could have been a coincidence, but when combined, a poltergeist interfering was the only possible cause. This was followed up by the cupboard swinging by itself, which topped off the whole incident. Surprisingly, Sean was pleased with all of this because it gave his golfing skills some exposure, but he was frightened in the moment nonetheless. Something that a lot of fridges have that I just cannot bring myself to understand is an interior camera, because who would want to review their fridge footage? The majority of the time you should know what is inside of it. And if you don't, then it is pretty easy to just go to the refrigerator itself, open it, and take a look inside. But some people just don't do this, I guess, including the family in the upcoming video. Their house was ridiculed with cameras because they were the victims of a break-in many years ago and were very precautionary. The cameras never helped with that though. They actually helped them catch a ghost in the act for the following video. Not only was the spirit opening and closing the fright was a creepy enough experience, it was doing it very aggressively. This conveyed the idea that its intentions were nothing but to instill fear and a sense of threat to the family. They sent the video to experts who claimed only a demon could cause movements so powerful, and they had to agree. They are in the process of getting rid of the spirit. I despise seeing innocent people fall victim to paranormal activity, but the sad thing is that the majority of cases happen to the least deserving of families. This next clip was captured by Rosanna, a kind and loving Christian girl who has never wanted anything other than a family to be a part of. She spreads kindness in everything that she does and is well respected within her local community. If anybody was to experience horrors such as what I am going to show you, it should not have been here. Here, have a watch. From mysterious sounds to the scooter moving, this was not nice for Rosanna, who didn't do anything to deserve this. She showed the video to her friends and family, who all believed her because she was very trustworthy, and they recruited a ghost hunter to visit her home where it was cleansed. The ghostly saga did not last long, but we are pleased Rosanna is now okay. Contrasting the last clip we did, the man who recorded the following video is a ghost hunter and was far from innocent, if anything deserving of a haunting. The video took place in a haunted asylum, and the hunter was a man named Ian, who you will have heard of if you are a regular on this YouTube channel. The time was 1 o'clock in the morning when this happened.
Checkers board. Looks like 4 different ghosts would be sitting right there playing away. Well, I mean, I guess it's a 2-person game, so that doesn't make no sense. The other 2 are spectators. That's what it would be. If there's anyone in here, could you make a sound? Whoa, whoa. Okay. I'm pretty sure I just heard something here. Is there someone sitting at this table? If so, could you knock on it? Knock on it, just like this. Getting like a weird smell over here. I definitely didn't notice it before. It smells almost like musty, like BO. I mean, no offense. If it's one of you or however many spirits are here. Oh God, it's getting like stronger. Where the heck is that coming from? It's so freaking weird. Whew. Jeez. I'm sorry, I hope I didn't offend you. It's not what I was trying to do. If you are sitting at this table, could you make one of these pieces move? Which color are you? Red or black? That smell has not gone away yet. Whoa! 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 Oh my God! Dude, that piece just slid across the freaking table! How the hell did that happen? That is insane. Dude, that freaking red piece just moved from there all the way there. Thank you so much, whoever you are. That just blew my mind. I mean, you moved it on the wrong space.
I mean, it's safe to say that the spirit was playing the lighter color. The fact that Ian got frightened here says a lot, because he has been in the ghost hunting industry for many years and is only taken aback by some of the more severe instances. For more haunting videos, including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by William and Keith, and they were friends who decided to share an apartment. They were young without much money behind them, so did this, in order to make rent cheaper with a 50-50 split. Little did they know that this location would turn out to be haunted. They both noticed mysterious things happening across their time there, until one day, Keith came up with the idea to try and catch the spirit on camera and upload it to social media. Several clips arose from this test, with the first one being as follows.
Sitting room and we heard some noises.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like it was coming from the kitchen, so that's why we're here. For the last half an hour before recording, we were trying to get the spirits to do some movement of some kind, and so far we've had the cupboard squeak. No, nothing to see. Something noise come from somewhere. Did you see that cool door move again?
For a little bit.
Shit. This is mental. Benji, why are you looking up there for? There's nothing there. You always seem to be looking up in the corner of the wall.
I know.
Every time you look up in the corner of the wall, things start to happen.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hell, it's moving again. Oh my god.
Shit. Do you want to go over there with the camera and close the door?
Okay.
No, I would have done it for cheer. I would have done this before.
Somehow, just as the duo finished introducing the audience to what was going on, something very abnormal happened. The door to the cabinet slowly opened without any human interaction, and it was evident that there were no strings attached. With pre-existing knowledge that the place was haunted, William showed no fear in approaching the cabinet and closing it. But of course, there was more to come. Just after closing the cabinet, both of the men were watching on, and it immediately opened itself again. This time, though, instead of approaching the cabinet, they took it upon themselves to expand their test and attempt to see what would happen in the dark.
Not normal. Something does not like me. Something does not like me.
It don't like me either.
Turn the light off to see what was going to happen. Just turn it off to see what's happening on it. If there's any spirits there, show yourself. You see that?
Yeah.
Let me just look it across the camera. This is not. This is weird. This is weird. Fucking well weird. Weird fucking. Pause it. I just got back from the toilet and stuff is still happening. That's why I had to pause it. You can see. Oh, you fucker! See how it changes. Oh, you can see. Oh, that's not possible. Oh, this is too much. Why are you looking up at the wall for, dog? Every time you look up in the corner of the wall, it's like something there. Why are you doing that? Hey? Hey? Me?
No.
Missed that. What happened?
I can't remember.
Sure.
All I seen was the DVD flying off. It's getting freaky in this house. Oh my god.
This ain't normal, man. This ain't normal.
I'm shitting it.
Staring at.
Immediately after flicking the lights off, both of them could see some white glowing dots in the room. They had the appearance of eyes, but danced around as if they were orbs, so it was really hard to pinpoint what they actually were. But what we do know is that they were tied to the paranormal world, because shortly after the lights turned themselves on, and a can of some sort collapsed to the ground. After this, both William and Keith made their way back into the sitting room to take a break from this paranormal surge, but they had the littlest of ideas that this was only just beginning. Their dog came into the room looking distraught, so they went to follow him, and it led them back to the original cupboard where this happened.
Did you move me?
Oh man, you know something's there. What are you looking at me for? What are you looking at me for? Mate. No.
He's looking under, he thinks he's under there.
Let's keep our eye off the dog for the moment, because yeah. That dog seems to know, man. He just keeps looking up in the corners though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Shit, did that move?
Yeah, I can't. Didn't see it. Fucking hell.
Did you see something move on that chair?
Yeah, I swear it's that teddy bear.
Oh, you fucker. No, look, you see the dark shadows around it.
Out of nowhere, the lid to the pan started to move on its own accord, and this put the duo into a state of fear. The paranormal surge lasted about 4 more minutes after this before it came to a stop, and neither William or Keith experienced anything of the sort ever again. Stephen Buswell has been a witness of paranormal activity before in his life and was a strong believer in these kinds of things because of that fact. However, the last thing that he expected to happen when he invited a friend over for the night was a ghost to make a cameo. He had always been dreaming about capturing a poltergeist, doing its acts on camera. So in a way, this experience made Stephen feel content, but there was still a factor of fright within him nonetheless. Take a look.
What the? The cone is moving. What the? This is really weird. C'est fuck. Comment rien. Mike! Chris, le compte vient de bouger. C'est fuckant ici. Hein? Le compte vient de bouger, c'est fuckant, Chris. Viens voir. Viens voir. Le compte vient de bouger. Je ne niaise pas, genre 3-4 fois. Qu'est-ce qui casse? C'est comment, Chris? Je te dis, il n'y a rien dedans. Il a bougé au moins 3 fois. Ça a fait du bon, hein, esti. Ça fait un an que j'ai arrêté de fumer, c'est le pire. Il a encore bougé! Hein? Il a encore bougé!
Strangely, the traffic cone was moving without any visible force acting upon it, and we all know the most likely cause. A spirit was having some fun. Stephen called his friend in the room so that he had an alibi alongside the video to make his friends believe him, and fortunately, they all did. One of them managed to get him in contact with a ghost hunter who had arranged to come and cleanse the property. All that we can do is sit back and hope that the cleansing turns out to be a success. Wyatt and his family were living in the perfect home until about a month ago, and you probably assume that they moved out, right? How else would they no longer be in the perfect home? Well, ever since their cat passed away, the place has been riddled with paranormal activity, and no matter how many experts they decide to contact, none of them are of any help due to a lack of evidence. One day, when everybody else in the house was out at a party, Wyatt heard some banging from the basement, and in hopes of serving the family justice and finally collecting liable evidence, he took his camera and went down the stairs. What he captured was beyond crazy and might be the hardest video to debunk that I have ever showcased to you guys. But before I played the clip, did you know that you can have your paranormal videos featured on my channel? All that you have to do is email hauntertvofficial@gmail.com with your attached clips alongside a brief description of what happened and why it happened, and you are guaranteed to have your story documented for all to see. Anyway, here is Wyatt's clip.
You guys are hearing that, right? Hello? Ever since our cat passed away, things have kind of been picking up. I'm not going back there. Hello? Damn it. Who are you? Get the hell out of here. Jesus. Dude. Stop. Oh, dude.
A lot of mysterious things happened here, such as the banging, the self-moving items, and the swing. But one thing happened that outshined everything else. If you paid close enough attention, you would have noticed that the ball rolled out of nowhere and literally spawned into the room with Wyatt. Some creepy stuff for sure. A bedroom is supposed to be a safe space for the occupant, as it is a private room for them to reside in when times warrant them to need some alone time. Feeling unsafe in your bedroom would be a horrible feeling, but unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who feel this, with the man who recorded the upcoming clip being one of them, but not for the reasons that you would assume. One evening, he was sitting in his gaming chair, drunk gaming with his friends, when he needed to go and get a snack. He went downstairs as routine, but had no clue what he was about to walk back into his room to.
My chair is moving. It's straight up moving. Maria. Yeah? Maria, my chair turned, did a whole 360. Not like, where are you? You stupid ghost. And I'm only so cheery right now, not terrified, because I did drink a bunch. Oh shit, and I got some more Trulies. Let's go. Don't do that again, bro. Here, stop doing that.
His chair began to spin on its own terms, and due to the contents of alcohol that the man had consumed, he was not confident in his visions at first, like most drunk witnesses do, though he took out his phone and filmed the incident so that he could verify things in a sober state, and you bet he did. After re-watching the video sober, he uploaded it to social media with full confidence that this was a spiritual encounter, and he had all rights to be confident in his findings.